Put him in a bed, you might. Bobby, put him in the bedroom. Put him in the bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
I came into contact with somebody from one of the big four, ended up becoming kind of a mentor to me. He's now a member of our club.
Man, when I first saw my first Hell's Angel standing there, I was like, that's what I want to be, man.
If you're running a three-piece, just like you know, it is truly an outlaw standard. Doesn't make you a one percenter, but it makes you an outlaw.
This is what I believe in, you know, and it was awesome to see that my brothers believed in me.
It's the wolf leading the sheep, man. You know, the sheep need to open their eyes because they're about to walk off the cliff where the whole other pack of wolves are at the bottom.
If you were getting your lunch money taken before you put them rags on, if they catch you by yourself, they're going to take your lunch money again.
I try to be around the guys and hang out with them as much as possible and get to know them, because that's really what it's about.
The Hells Angels are being arraigned.
One man was stabbed in the chest, another was knocked out, who faced criminal charges, including charges of hate crimes as well as gang allegations. One defendant faces an attempted murder charge, so this certainly appears to be a widespread investigation.
Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about this guy who claims to be a Hell's Angel or an associate while he's carrying an axe. He got busted. It's a crazy story. We got a bunch of other things to talk about. One of the thug riders has pled guilty, or he's receiving his sentence, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this little girl that got killed over here in New Britain, Connecticut. Sad situation, but they arrested all the people involved. I think there's going to be more arrests down the line. It's just very sad situation. We're going to talk about some crashes that has happened, some fatal accidents, and before we get started, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Tell a friend to tell a friend, tell your mother's brother, sister's friend about Chattin with Staxx, the dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. I appreciate everyone taking the time to watch this show. Let me give some shout outs before we get started. Chris, how are you? Thank you for joining me. Happy Tuesday. Big Joe, what's good? Richard. Joe, what's good? Good afternoon, everybody. So, this little girl was put in a plastic tote, I think. Her remains were found. She was missing for about a year. DCF was involved. She didn't show up to school. Like, how does a 12-year-old girl slip through the cracks? How? How is that possible? DCF needs to be held accountable. I do not care. They need to be held accountable. People need to be prosecuted. But there is good news in this case. I mean, really, what's going to be good coming out of this? The only good thing is the people that have done this have been caught. So it's the mother in the middle, the aunt on the right, and the boyfriend on the left. And I got the boyfriend's mugshot. Looks like he didn't have a great time when he got taken into custody. And I don't think he's going to have a good time in prison. I can guarantee you he's not going to have a good time in prison. I hope none of these people ever get an ounce of rest. It's too bad that they took the death penalty off the table in Connecticut. They abolished the death penalty a while back. And it's terrible because these are the types of people that they make the death penalty for. I mean, it's sickening what they did. But I got some news reports we're going to watch, and then we're going to get to the crazy stories. But rest in peace to this girl. She went by Mimi. And people are saying that she was starved, she was abused for a long time, she was beat, she was put in the basement. Like, where were the people to help her? Where were the people to help her? It's really like mind-blowing that this type of stuff happens. And if you are suspecting someone of doing something like this, come forward and let it be known, because kids can't defend themselves. And I don't give a shit. You need to come forward if there's a child being abused. You need to come forward and take accountability, take responsibility for the people around you.
Breaking news, a third person has now been arrested in the death of a 12-year-old girl.
The remains of Jacqueline Torres were found inside a storage bin and then left in a vacant house in New Britain. Now, right now, her mother, Carla Garcia, is charged with murder. Her aunt, Jacqueline Garcia, is facing cruelty charges. And just in the past hour, that breaking news we've been telling you about, Carla Garcia's boyfriend, Jonathan Nanita, was taken into custody, finally arrested. Investigators say a little girl died last year while her family lived in Farmington. Her body was kept in the family's basement and then moved to New Britain. Police say DCF was aware of the family, but they can't say more. There are other kids involved. But
so they were involved, right? The DCF, they should be arrested too, because they were involved. They knew about this, and they didn't do anything to protect this young girl.
We are told they are safe.
Well, as you can imagine, this case is not only taking a toll on the family, but communities in both Farmington and New Britain.
This is Bob Wilson.
Jay, what's going on? Peace and love, man. What's good? Thank you guys all for joining me. I appreciate you guys taking the time.
To the little girl's neighbors, he joins us now live from New Britain with how she's being remembered. It has details on that breaking news of that third arrest. Bob?
That's right. The third arrestee was walked right out here. Jonathan Nanita's put into a state police cruiser, transferred into state police, and taken off. We're supposing he'll be arraigned tomorrow. We'll have to confirm that. But right now, everybody glad he's in custody. The third person that gives everybody involved in this, as we know, is under arrest and in police custody. However, it has been a long day. As police were over in Farmington, the neighborhood over there, as she was allegedly killed there in that basement, held there for over maybe 6 months, and then transferred out. Tonight, everyone from the mayor to the police chief reacting.
As a mother, this makes me sick to my stomach.
35 years, this is probably one of the worst cases.
It's really heart-wrenching, and what a story. I mean, you know, this is a very safe area, quiet area here. You just don't even think that you're going to hear something like that 2 doors down.
Police identified the decomposed 12-year-old found in a storage container in New Britain as Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia. Police searched a home in Farmington where they say she suffered prolonged physical abuse and malnourishment before she was allegedly killed by her mother, 29-year-old Carla Garcia, and her boyfriend, Jonathan Nanita. Police believe the 12-year-old was killed a year ago, stored in the basement until March when they moved to New Britain.
Jonathan, he's a punk. Straight up punk. And I guarantee you, he's not gonna live this down in prison.
Today it was full blown. They had, 5-6 cars here. Farmington police were here, and then I saw the dog. I happened to be right outside when they brought the dog in. Who's ever living there or whatever, there were people outside, and they were told not to go back into the place.
A memorial continues to grow where her body was found in New Britain, but we are not going to identify the neighborhood where police say she was murdered out of respect for the neighbors who are visibly shaken by this crime.
It was a happy kid here. She used to get walked home by one of the other young boys that was here. Very, out into. Out and about with the kids and everything. She was a really nice little skinny girl, but she used to take the garbage out for the parents all the time, but they were really kind of quiet. They had another smaller child and I think a bigger child.
As far as this investigation is concerned, there's no other reports involving any of the other children that are involved.
And police tonight asking any witnesses in Farmington or New Britain who know anything about this case to please come forward. They would like to hear from you. They believe there are people out there. They say it's okay. You can come forward and talk to them. I'm Bob Wilson reporting live in New Britain, Newsday.
You for joining us here today to start this press conference by offering.
This is the press conference. This is the press conference that they had, and I sped it up because, you know, it was pretty long. And I can't stand these government officials, and they're so corrupt. It's insane. I mean, for something like this to happen, especially when DCF is involved, like, make it make sense. There is no, they don't have anything that they can say. They are caught out.
To for those dealing with all the emotions and frustrations around and surrounding these absolutely terrible circumstances.
Hey, mountain woman,
our prayers
how
and
are
our
you?
thoughts go to the family. From the beginning, every agency that was involved in this investigation has been in constant communication with one another and worked tirelessly towards one common goal. One common goal, and I can say that now, our goal has always been to seek justice for Jacqueline Torres. I want to thank the men and women that are standing behind me, who have been working around the clock to get us to this point. There have been a very concerning amount of rumors and mistruths that have been posted all over social media, and our goal today is to provide you with as many of the facts as we can.
DCF is involved. I don't care what anyone says.
On a personal note, as a mother, this makes me sick to my stomach to be standing here today with what we're about to tell you. On Wednesday, October 8th, when a report of suspicious activity at 80 Clark Street in New Britain came in from an anonymous caller requesting police, responding officers had no idea what they would be walking into. This caller reported suspicious activity at a known abandoned house in their neighborhood. This house had been vacant for over 2 years and was owned and is owned by an out-of-state landlord from New York. None of those determined to be involved with this case have ever resided at this property. I want to thank the initial caller for speaking up, for having the courage to say something. Without that initial call, no one can say for certain where we would be at this point in time. I want to welcome to the podium the Farmington Town Council Chair, Joe Capadefaro, to offer a few words.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Joe Capadefaro, the Town Council Chair of Farmington. I can't really add too much more to what the Mayor just said, but first, I also want to offer my condolences to everybody that's been affected in this tragedy. This type of investigation not only has affected the community, but also all that worked in this investigation to bring justice for Jacqueline. I want to thank the members of the Farmington Police Department, the New Britain Police Department, Connecticut State Police, the State's Attorney's offices of New Britain and Litchfield, and the Chief Medical Examiner's office.
I hope all these people get what they deserve, including DCF. They are a corrupt organization, and they need to be exposed. They knew exactly what was going on in that house, and they let it happen. They are a corrupt organization, and they need to be investigated by an outside source. And anybody associated with this case needs to be held accountable. And I don't care. Bunch of trash. Fucking trash. Rest in peace to that little girl. I don't care about other people's feelings. You know what I'm saying? She's the one that had to go through all this. No one else. So all these people, like, they want sympathy. You don't get sympathy. Like, where were you when she needed you? Nowhere. It makes me so angry. Oh my God. Let's get back to the show. But rest in peace to that little girl. I hope she gets justice. Woman denies criminal charges stemming from a fatal motorcycle crash. 59-year-old woman claims to be innocent of criminal charges stemming from an August vehicle collision that killed a motorcyclist on U.S. Highway 634. Brenda Willenard submitted a written plea of not guilty September 24th to a charge of motor vehicle homicide in Adams County Court. The pretrial hearing in the case is scheduled for December 16th at 8 a.m. Authorities previously said initial investigation indicated William Humberg, 58, of Hastings, was driving a 2001 Honda VTR 600 motorcycle westbound on U.S. Highway 634 when he collided with the eastbound 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee driven by Wilnard as it was turning north at Marin Road. Wilnard administered CPR until emergency responders arrived. Emergency responders transported the motorcyclist to Mary Lanning Healthcare, where he later was pronounced dead. Alcohol and his speed aren't considered to be factors in the cause of the crash. Come on, he must have been going faster than they're saying. Because if he was doing the speed limit, it says that he was wearing a helmet approved by the Department of Transportation, and Wilnard wore a seatbelt. Motor vehicle homicide is a class 1 misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail and $1,000 fine. Failure to yield and right of way on a left-hand turn is an infraction punishable by $100 fine. So what do you guys think? If someone's turning, right, and a motorcycle hits them, should the driver be charged with vehicle homicide? What do you guys think? I want to know what your opinion is. So we talked yesterday about the Hells Angels situation. I got a video for us to go over today. Let's check it out.
And a dozen alleged gang members have been arrested after leading officers on a pursuit. California Highway Patrol asked the Kern County Sheriff's Office to help chase after multiple motorcyclists Friday night. During the pursuit, 5 of the suspects stopped at a mobile gas station on Taft Highway. The rest continued to ride away, but they eventually stopped at the intersection of South Enos Lane and Stockdale Highway. KCSO said deputies arrested all 14 suspects who were either part of the Hells Angels or Hermanos Unidos motorcycle gangs. Deputies also seized the motorcycles and jackets the suspects were wearing.
Someone said, why do they seize the cuts when a situation's like this? And I think it's kind of like a trophy, right? That's what they're going to do. They're going to seize the cuts, seize any paraphernalia related to the motorcycle club so they can hold them up in front of the police and parade them around in the courtroom. That's what they use them for. I believe that's the reason why they confiscate things like that. Cito the Great, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining me. Gyro, how you doing? Is that the Midwest? What that car accident is? The Hells Angel bust was in California. God bless, from Idaho. So there's a crazy story that's going on, right? Let me see if I can find it. I had it, and I don't know where the hell it went. So this guy unalives his... This is a wild story. Like, you're not going to believe this. Father accused of unaliving daughter's alleged arrest. You guys get it, right? Is running for sheriff. He's running for sheriff. The father that's accused of unaliving his daughter's arrest. You guys get it? This is in Arkansas. A father accused of unaliving his 14-year-old daughter's alleged arrest announced that he's running for sheriff because the system failed. Aaron Spencer, 37, announced his campaign for Lonoke County Sheriff on his Facebook post last Friday, almost a year after he allegedly murdered his daughter's arrest. Like, the day of the incident, Spencer reported to police that his daughter was missing. As police were on their way to Spencer's home, Spencer found his daughter in a vehicle with Falser. Falser had no contact order because he had stalked and AR'd the 14-year-old. Spencer then allegedly shot and killed Falser. After the confrontation between the two men arose, the child's mother had thought that Fulser might be trying to kill her daughter because he was wanted for the possible 6 to 9 felonies after her daughter was the only witness. Sheriff John Stanley noted that Spencer's case would be up to the county prosecutor's office to decide whether or not to actually file charges against Spencer. Spencer is out on bond and the case remains ongoing. So now he's running for sheriff. Like, you can't make this up. But if anyone deserves to be a sheriff, it's the person that takes care of business, right? Hey, Lindsay, how are you? Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you for everything you do for this channel. I really appreciate it. Let's take a look at his campaign speech. This is wild.
Hello, Lone Oak. My name is Aaron Spencer. Many of you know my story. I'm the father who acted to protect his daughter when the system failed. I'm also a husband, a combat veteran of the 82nd Airborne Division, a contractor, and a farmer. And through my own fight for justice, I have seen firsthand the failures in law enforcement and in our circuit court. And I refuse to stand by while others face these same failures. That's why I'm announcing my candidacy to run for Lone Oak County Sheriff. This campaign isn't about me. It's about every parent, every neighbor, every family who deserves to feel safe in their homes and safe in their community. It's about restoring trust, where neighbors know law enforcement is on their side and families know that they will not be left alone in a moment of need. Together, we can build a safer, stronger Lone Oak County for every family. I'm Aaron Spencer, and I'm running for Sheriff of Lone Oak County.
What do you guys think of that situation? I'd vote for him. Shit. Would you guys vote for that guy? I definitely would. So, I'd definitely vote for him if I lived in that area. Hell yeah, why not? Seems like he takes care of business. Alright, so I'm trying to get a picture for you guys, give you guys more context to this story. Alright, we're going to get to the topic at hand. Now, this is a wild story. I mean, you can't make this shit up. You really can't. I couldn't make up a story crazier than this, right? So, axe-wielding man claims to be a Hell's Angel or a Hell's Angel associate. Now, why would he claim that? Crazy shit, right? A Jamestown man faces multiple charges after axe-wielding home invasion. 44-year-old charged with trespassing, theft, and property damage in separate incidents. Jamestown, North Dakota. A Jamestown man is facing multiple criminal charges after allegedly walking into a house while carrying an axe, claiming to be associated with the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club and damaging property over a 2-day period. Shannon Syverson was arrested on October 11th after allegedly entering a rural residence while carrying an axe and telling the victim he was a Hell's Angel and asking, "Where are the girls at?" according to court documents. The victim told Stutzman County Sheriff's Office he pushed Silverman out of the house and threatened to call police. Syverson, his name's Syverson, left, but later returned to the property again. A pattern of escalating behavior. The incident was a culmination of suspicious behavior that began the previous evening. Court documents showed Syverson had approached the same property on October 10th, standing in the roadway while holding an axe and wearing camouflage clothing. Then confronted by the property owners, the man claimed to be protecting their property. So he's on some creepy shit. He's outside holding an axe or some damn camouflage. I'm protecting the property. Go back in the house. Earlier that day, the man had entered another residence yard without permission and attempted to install a pickup truck battery into a Can-Am side-by-side vehicle, according to police records. I'm just here to install a battery on your property, sir. So during Friday's investigation, deputies discovered that the man had allegedly stolen a Bobcat utility vehicle from the property and driven it to James River Boat Club. The vehicle was found near a damaged Stutsman County picnic table that had been placed on top of a burn barrel and was still smoldering when deputies arrived. Jamestown Rural Fire Department responded and extinguished the burning table. Deputies also found $200 in damage to the Can-Am vehicle battery, which appeared to have cables cut and pulled from the battery. Camouflage gloves and a mask belonging to the man were found inside the damaged vehicle. Now, this is the arrest and the charges. The man was detained just before 8 a.m. on October 11th while wearing camouflage clothing. When questioned, he claimed he was hunting beaver and denied entering the residence, though he admitted to telling the victim that he was with the Hells Angels and claimed to be the organization's president. What? I mean, mental health is a real thing, guys. Deputies collected physical evidence, including the axe, took photographs of the damaged property, and the investigation revealed that Syverson had been camping illegally at the boat club with a female companion. He was transported to the Stutsman County Correctional Center and in total now faces 8 criminal counts, including felony, criminal trespass, misdemeanor counts, including criminal trespass, 3 counts of criminal mischief, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. Wouldn't he be charged with stealing the car, like larceny third or something like that? He's charged with disorderly conduct and ingesting a controlled substance. So he'll be doing court at a later date. So this guy just goes around with an axe, goes to people's property and tells people that he's a part of the Hells Angels motorcycle club. You can't make this shit up. You can't make it up. Mental health is a real thing, and it's alive and well in 2025. Yeah, he said he was out hunting beavers, Lulu. Jaman, what's going on? Sorry I'm late. Don't worry about it. At least you made it, man. Craig, how you doing? Thank you guys all for joining me today. So yeah, this guy just walks around to people's properties with an axe, claiming to be a member of the Hells Angels motorcycle club. I don't know what that's going to make a difference, but that's crazy. That's the delusion that a lot of people have out here. I mean, people are out here every day doing that type of shit. I keep getting reports that bullshitter Caleb Harris, is still out there pretending to be in the Pagans Motorcycle Club. He's trying to collect money. Some people believe him. They're like, he's the grandson of Lou Dobkins and this and that. No, he absolutely is not. I will have a special on him again soon. We're going to be talking about it We're going to go over the interview I did with him, and we're going to expose all his lies. We're going to pick them apart piece by piece. I'm trying to find the uncut version of the interview because he told me, take that part out, take this part out. So I'm trying to find the uncut part, and if I can find it, you guys will get the uncut part. And I'm going to react to his interview. It should be quite funny. So stay tuned for that one. In other news, Thug Riders second member of the Thug Riders was sentenced to conspiracy scheme. October 13th, a second member of the Thug Riders Motorcycle Club will serve time in prison for his role in conspiracy investigation, claiming the gang was responsible for multiple violent crimes, including murder. The judge sentenced Joseph Radar to 15 months in prison. That ain't shit. That's not even a year and a half. So the judge sentenced this man, Joseph Radar, to 15 months in prison, according to court documents. Once released from prison, he will be on probation for 1 year. Oh, God. Radar pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit assault with a dangerous weapon in aid of racketeering in June, according to federal court records. Who else is involved? 14 people, including Raider, were accused of racketeering investigation. Others indicted members include Juan Robles, Joey Marshall, Jared Peters, Brendan Fisher, John Smith, Norman Beach, Michael Henry. I believe he already took a plea. Daniel Hutton, Michael Reese, Matthew Hawkins, Justin Baker, Brent Algolson, Cody Hughes. The Thug Riders Motorcycle Club was founded in 2003 and has chapters in the U.S., Canada, Dominican Republic, Germany, Morocco, Puerto Rico, United Kingdom, according to court records. Robles reportedly helped start the Dayton chapter and was the Midwest regional boss. Marshall served as the Midwest Sergeant of Arms. Peters, Beats, and Smith were former presidents, vice president, and enforcer for the Dayton chapter. Engelson, Fisher, and Reese allegedly were the president, sergeant of arms, and enforcer for the Dayton chapter at the time of the incident. So what are they accused of? Investigators claim that the Thug Riders committed multiple violent crimes, including murder, assault, arson in Ohio and Kentucky. Members were linked to the following incidents, according to court records: the explosion of a former member's pickup truck in Huber Heights in May of 2021. A fatal shooting of 23-year-old Joseph Nicholson in Harrison Township on September 26, 2021. A gunfight on April 9th, 2023 at a rival motorcycle group's clubhouse in Lexington, Kentucky. The Thug Riders reportedly fired 192 rounds during the attack, but no one was injured. A fight at a Dayton bar in June 17, 2023, the gang allegedly broke a man's leg and gave him a black eye. A gunfight at another motorcycle clubhouse in Springfield on March 20th, 2024. Fisher was reportedly shot twice in the head. Assault of two members of a rival motorcycle club in London, Ohio on March 16, 2024. Now, where do the cases stand? 6 Thug Riders have pleaded guilty. Raider, Henry, Hawkins, Peter, Baker, and Hughes. Fisher had a change of plea hearing on October 7th. but the outcome of the hearing wasn't available as of Monday afternoon. Henry was sentenced to 30 months and 3 years supervised release after pleading guilty to conspiracy to engage in racketeering, conspiracy to commit violent crimes in aid of racketeering, attempted assault in aid of racketeering, according to court records. Henry and Rader are the only two gang members that have been sentenced. Hughes pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit assault with a dangerous weapon and is scheduled to be sentenced February 12th. Baker pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit violent crime in aid of racketeering. Peters pleaded conspiracy engage in racketeering and conspiracy to commit violent crime in aid of racketeering. Hawkins pleaded guilty to commit violent crime in aid of racketeering. Their sentences, or the sentencing dates, have not yet been set. Robles, Marshall, Smith, Beach, Hutton, Reese, and Engelson have a trial scheduled for October 20th. Damn, so their trial's starting pretty quick. It's going to be starting very soon. So it said, here's another article from October 13th. That was yesterday. Members of the Thug Riders learned their punishment for involvement in organized crime. Member of the violent motorcycle gang arrested as part of a federal organized crime learned their punishment Friday. Joseph Rader, known as Delta, was sentenced to 15 months in federal prison and court records filed in U.S. District, Southern District of Ohio. Rader will be on probation for 1 year after he's released. So I will let you know what happens when more information comes out on this case. People are pleading out like crazy. They're just dropping like one by one. I mean, 3 years, and there's a murder involved in the case. It's crazy. $15? What do you mean 15? Hey, Ryan, what's going on? Thank you for joining me. Mark, what's good? There's a lot here. Like, I mean, they got a murder in that case, but they're admitting that it's a criminal enterprise. It's not a good thing for anybody that's involved with that club. I mean, it's a motorcycle club, and then you got people like this that are pleading guilty to being involved in a criminal organization. It's just 15 months seems light, doesn't it? I know, that's what I'm saying. And they don't have parole in the feds. They don't have it. So they give you supervised release. It's kind of like probation when you're in prison in the feds. So that's what they're giving them. They're giving him a year supervised release. I mean, 15 months is not bad. I mean, that's a really light sentence. Yeah, they got off easy because, why do you think? Can you guess why? Why do you think they got 15 months? And the other guys are going to trial. They're probably going to testify at trial. I would imagine. That's probably part of their plea agreement. That's what they do. They scare people into pleading guilty and testifying against people. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with that case, but I don't think it's looking good for any of them. Not even the people with 15 months, because they're going to go to prison and have to face that, you know? No club is as lucky as the Hells Angels. I mean, they've been through a lot of shit, you know, with the RICO acts and everything. They have skated by on a lot. I mean, look at the what was it, Black Biscuit? The case with Dobkins. Jay Dobkins. He didn't get nothing from them. Nothing. I mean, here and there, people will go to prison for different things, but they never had any real success with the Hells Angels. They've had some with the Mongols and a little bit with the pagans. It all depends on how much people are willing to play ball. I mean, look at what happened down in Waco. Nobody out of that whole group of people that got arrested, hundreds, I think it was like 120, nobody cooperated. Not one person in that whole case. Nobody would talk. Not one. And everybody walked. They dropped everything. I mean, I think they overdid it, but nobody talked. Nobody cooperated at all. In Southern California, everyone thinks they cooperate with the feds against other clubs. I never heard anything like that. Yeah, but think about that. Down in Waco, when the Waco incident happened, big shootout, people are killed. They arrested everybody that was there. They arrested some people that weren't there. I'll tell you the exact number of people. It's a lot. There, got all their mugshots right here. 177 people. Not one talked to the police. Not one. Not even one. I know it's a little blurry, but 177 people arrested at Waco. Not one person cooperated with law enforcement. Not one. Now, you ain't going to find a group like that. It's not going to happen. I mean, for the most part, people are going to cooperate. So it says in 2015, Waco biker brawl, 177 people were arrested immediately following the shootout at Twin Peaks restaurant. Over 100 of the individuals were later indicted on charges like organized crime, but all charges were ultimately dropped and no one was convicted in connection with this event. 177 people were arrested at the scene. 155 people were indicted on charges, including organized crime, and not one was convicted. All the charges were dismissed. Now that is a solid brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Even though it kind of fractured after that, people left and they went to different clubs. But I've been in the works talking to someone who was involved with Waco, so I'm working on it. The Vagos had a RICO case 10 years ago where no one talked and everyone walked. Hollywood did a video on it. Yeah, never, I don't think I was doing this content then. Shit, 10 years ago? No, that wasn't even a thought for me. I'm kind of new to the game. So, we got some information about the Satan's Choice. Police are monitoring the resurgence of the outlaw motorcycle gang Satan's Choice in Northern Ontario. Social media indicates new chapters popping up in cities including Sudbury, Thunder Bay, Ottawa, and Hamilton. Police are keeping a vigilance about the outlaw motorcycle gang that once dominated Northern Ontario streets that appears to be making a comeback. Ontario Provincial Police, they call them the OPP, said they are keeping a close watch on the renewed activity of Satan's Choice as several other biker gangs continue to operate chapters across the North. Anytime we have an emerging outlaw motorcycle gang, we take note. I mean, these people are so, they're calling it a motorcycle gang right off the rip. It's a motorcycle club. And I'm telling you, this dude, Harley, didn't do it so peaceful, you know. He was a Hell's Angel member for quite a while. He broke off. His father was the one who started the Satan's Choice. That whole club's supposed to be folded. Once they do patch over, it's supposed to not exist no more because they patched over to the Hells Angels. His father was a Hells Angel too. So they patched over. He wasn't, when his father patched over, he wasn't involved then. I don't think. I'm pretty sure he wasn't back then. But his father patched over. He ended up patching over the whole club. So right there, it's supposed to be gone. Never comes back. That's what they say, right? But it came back. He became a member. Harley became a member of the Hells Angels. He had some turmoil. And he's beefing with a few members. I mean, they're going in. I got some video, too. We can take a look at it. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. He's going back and forth with some people. But the police are keeping a close eye on him. And we'll see what ends up happening with that situation. Do you guys think it'll end up being a crazy situation?
For everyone wondering what my recent Satan's Choice posts are about, this video should clear up majority of your questions, as I'm planning on doing one of the biggest patch overs since 2000, and it's already began. I have love for several people that may be disappointed, but here are some real truths, because if you know me, you know I don't lie.
And I got some facts to tell you guys. So there was a guy that was interviewed on Sos the Ghost's channel. He was wearing a Satan's Choice cut, right? He's not in the Satan's Choice. He let him wear that cut for the interview, but he didn't accept him into the club. That's kind of weird. He let him wear the cut to do the interview, and then when they did the patch over, they didn't end up taking the people, so he didn't end up becoming a member of the Satan's Choice, but he wore the cut during the interview. So people think that he's in the club, but he's not. So I don't know about his status now, but he wasn't then. So it's pretty crazy.
Jeremy Brown had an ongoing relationship with my eldest daughter's mother, who is a known rat, behind my back while lying to my face about it.
And that's his former brother in the Hells Angels, was messing with his kid's mother. That's some grimy shit. Like, you just don't do that. I don't care if you're in a club or not in a club. You're friends with someone, you don't mess with their girl, their ex-girl. That's off limits, especially if you're in a motorcycle club. Isn't there a rule for that? Like, I thought there's a rule for that.
Yeah, not too happy about that, but it's a hard fact. While I was a member, which is called unbecoming, where he then coached her to get a restraining order against me. Jared's Aunt Donna works at the courthouse. She took her stamps home and did my paperwork at her own house. Well, I paid $200 at her kitchen table while I was alongside Jeremy. Again, that's some more nonsense. To find out later, Donna was also helping my eldest daughter's mother against me. Guess she won't be getting any more info, right? If you think about that. Jared took my mom, and that again is unbecoming. This was my best friend that for 3 years I've ranted about in all my posts without naming him, because obviously I didn't want any issues with the club per se. So if you really think about it, again, this is very, very unbecoming. I've had enough of this goofs bullshit. I am totally over it. Yes, I called him a goof. He is a goof. We owned houses together, went on vacations 5 times a year together, talked 5 times a day. That was my guy. He broke my heart, I'm going to be honest. If he'd do that to me, you best believe he'd screw over each and every one of you in a heartbeat. You think I'm mad for no reason? Yeah, I'm choked, okay? I didn't know I was in a game of chess until the recordings came out from my baby mom, which he 100% has all of the recordings. Jer has all of the recordings. If any member wants to ask him for them, go ahead. I know he has them because I gave them to him when I sat him in my car and made him listen to them, where my rat baby mom identifies as Aunt Donna, and she's the one on my stamped paperwork, restraining order, word on my balls. Coincidence? Wow. Think not. I would have never believed anyone or any woman over my brother, but Donna's signed name is on the restraining order was all the proof I needed to, like, there's no talking your way out of this. Like, and that's what he's been doing. He's been just trying to talk his way out of everything. Nobody even knew that Donna worked there. Especially my baby mom, that he shouldn't even have been talking to, let alone anything. And then Jared's going to say that Sean Jr. is the reason behind that, and ask Sean, because I guarantee that never happened. Yeah, and my baby's mom's laughter about the whole situation that was recorded under Jeremy's direction, as well as names like Ricky C., rest in peace, by the way, and other members that were directed my family court paperwork by Jer using a rat named my baby mom, who's a serial cop caller. He knows this, and again, directing that to members, very unbecoming. Also in the tape. Why was he doing this? Because he's jealous, and that's what goofs do. Did I see that coming? No, I did not. After he heard the recordings, I got him out of my car and told him word for word that that was a goof move, and I told him to put his hands up 4 times, and then he got in his car like a little bitch. Jer kept trying to stall the last meeting. Asked Jimmy when I told them I'm starting the Satan's Choice back up again to his face last week. He doesn't want this shit out. Like, he's a bird. Last week, I said this is his doing and called him a liar to his face in front of Jimmy, actually pointed in his face, and it was the 3 of us. Ask Jimmy, he won't lie. He's a good man. Ask him. He previously told Jimmy I never called him on, and it was bullshit. So obviously I had to set the record straight, and he should be kicked out for lying to Jimmy, as well as not defending me calling him on, as you have to fight. Little late now, can't put the shit back in the donkey. Brooklyn, 1 and 3 years these guys have been called out. Enough said. What do you call a full patch member coaching a girl to take you down in any court? Exactly. Guy got rich ripping everyone off and hiding behind a patch. Before that, he only hid in closets from Sean Robinson Jr. Again, I know all the stories. I am from Oshawa. Plus, it's time to stop throwing... It's time to start throwing church in your house in black... Like, you're throwing church in your house in Blackstock. It's been 2 years. Get yourself a clubhouse. Or did you put all the stolen money into your personal houses and can't afford them? 5,000 in, 5,000 out. Where's the money, Jer? I called him out in that respectfully, and all of a sudden had an enemy, and Jer never had to answer to it. Guaranteed the same shit. And guess what? You haven't had a clubhouse in 2 years. Follow the money, boys. Go back to the beginning, okay? Jerry's got a silver tongue and talks his way out of everything. Parasite with no nuts, through and through. But no one's calling me a fucking liar. I'll tell you that for free. I never let my tow truck driver get shot in the head and not defend it and hide behind my alleged best friend's name. He's pathetic. Then again, I'd never cry like a little bitch when I got arrested and called my lawyer every day whining too. You have money, but you have no heart. You're an embarrassment, period. Let's talk about how unbecoming this extra shit is again. This is partial reasoning on why I'm doing what I'm doing. He didn't have a word to say in front of Jimmy, which says enough. I love Jimmy, don't get it twisted, but I had to prove this, and Jer is a liar, and expose him in front of someone with real honor like Jimmy. Okay, I couldn't lie and say I was starting an RC, which was the save face to get me back in the club. As I'm a man, I'm sorry to my old brothers, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't lie, and I said what I said, and I'm sticking beside what I said because it's not in me to lie. I need to be able to look myself in the mirror, and knowing Jer and Sean are 100% goofs, I couldn't trade my soul to run with the made-up story Jer and I came up with to get me back in the Hells Angels. Look what I just wrote about Jer. While Jer knew it was about him, like, what was it, a couple weeks ago, a month ago, about his house getting robbed, guy didn't swing, you know, he has no balls, he literally tried embracing me like the fake fuck he is last week. The guy is a coward. This is who you guys are following out here. Turned shoulders on me at his direction, suggested, think that over. Do you understand what I'm saying here? You do get that, right? He's pathetic. Just a man with money. Are you that pathetic that that's what you're believing in? Like, come see me, okay? I'm doing things completely different. He wanted to avoid me doing this for years now, which is why he always had my back, as he says, because the alternative was me airing out this bullshit. Don't think it stops there either. There's current members he slept with their wives, baby moms, girlfriends. The member knows this and hasn't called him out on it because he's worried about this snake biting him too. Tried to backdoor him also and kick him out recently while smiling to his face. Same way he did Josh. He's a fucking coward. It's time, Brooklyn, figure your shit out before you get frozen. He tried to have Josh rip off the V-Rod bike draw, and then when Josh didn't cut him in on the money, he sold him out to me and had me do the dirty work like I was his puppet because he knew I wouldn't stand for ripping off your friends, your family, your supporters, as well as your own brothers. That's some fucking lowlife shit. Had me come at Josh to later find out that this snake is involved in this bullshit too and acting clueless. It went so much deeper than that, hence my apology to Josh, as I didn't know I was getting played to do what I did. Not that the situation was right, but it was deeper than that, way deeper. Josh took the heat single-handedly and ended out on bad status because of dealing with something that's right. That results in him avoiding the drama he created. Again, like a coward. I don't lie, and I already paid on him. Like, I don't lie. Josh already paid the debt, and then Jared pocketed it, and then they used that as an excuse. Then we made an agreement that I would pay the debt for Josh, and then they would overturn his status. And then when I did pay the debt, again, Jared reneged and probably put it back in his pocket because that's the kind of piece of shit he is. But even if he didn't, he still didn't do what he said he was going to do. So talk about unbecoming, huh? I'm not ripping off bike draws. I'm not ripping off shit. Anybody want my draws are on the board. Anytime I do any waffles, right? That's what they're called. I give my shit away, and I do it open and frank. Okay. All right, well, let's talk about unbecoming here. I'd fucking say that that's beyond unbecoming. And there's another goof. Sean Robinson Sr. Fuck you, buddy. Sean mouthed me off at the Brooklyn, Canada run while I was invited there as a civilian. I told him to stop running his mouth and put his hands up. Right now. Again, he's older, but I have had enough, and he's allowed to use his Rambo knife. He isn't a slouch. He's just a weirdo. This is in front of many members, which he lies about and says never happened. Who's lying? All the members that personally seen it with their own eyes, or this unbecoming goof with something to lose? My issue started with Sean for him exposing his dick like a weirdo to my fiance, ex-girlfriend, baby mom, 2 sisters, daughter-in-law, sister-in-law, as well as her friends too, like a creep, which I called him to his face. Also, hordes of civilians at the clubhouse. Members' wives, right, Eddie? And even attempted other members' daughters, right, Pete? I asked him if he lost his mind and demanded he stop exposing himself at the table. And he didn't. Started doing it again while I left the club, which was on good terms, by the way, for all you that didn't know what happened. If you think that's fucked up, there was some next level shit that I can't really talk about that was brought to me while I was still in the club by another member who later passed due to COVID, RIP. Put the puzzle pieces together and go ask his brother about one similar goof with the same goofy shit.
So there's a lot more, and we're going to go over it at a later date. I appreciate all you guys taking the time to watch this show. If you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos anytime they drop. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your mother's, brother's, sister's friend about Chattin with Staxx, the dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. If you want to donate to the show, you can hit up the Cash App at Chattin with Staxx. Or you can hit up Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chat, Zelle, all that good stuff. And I appreciate every single dollar. I put it right back into the show. We got a lot of great things in the works. If you want to tell your story on Chattin with Staxx, just hit up my email at billstaxx2021@gmail.com. And I got a lot of great content dropping, some new videos. Go check out Patreon. There's a new video over there. And I'm dropping some new stuff today, so I hope you guys have a great day. Stay dry. And remember, don't be a bitch.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged, and investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.